Good day to our beloved students. Welcome to our math class. It's a great pleasure for me to teach you and give you the learnings needed for our today's lesson. Our objective is to use properties of parallelograms and rectangles to find measures of angles, sides, and other quantities. Are you ready to further understand the lesson? Okay, let's get started. Our lesson is all about using the properties of parallelogram and rectangle to find measure of angles, sides, and other quantities. What are the properties of parallelogram and rectangle? Can you still recall the properties of parallelogram and rectangle? Knowing and familiarizing with the properties of parallelogram and rectangle will help a lot in finding the measures of angles, sides, and other quantities involving parallelogram and rectangle. For us to recall their properties, let us fill the blanks with a missing term or terms for each statement shown in our presentation. For number 1, in a parallelogram, any two opposite sides are blank. If your answer is congruent, then you got the correct answer. For number 2, in a parallelogram, any two opposite angles are blank. Can you guess the correct answer? If your answer is congruent, very good, you are correct. For number 3, in a parallelogram, any two consecutive angles are blank. Have you figured out the answer? If your answer is supplementary, well done, you got the correct word. Let's proceed to number 4. The diagonals of a parallelogram blank each other. What do you think is the missing word? The correct answer is bisect. And for the last number, number 5, the diagonals of a parallelogram forms blank triangles. Can you guess the answer? I'll give you a hint. The answer consists of two words. If your answer is too congruent, then bravo, you got the correct answer. After answering and filling the blanks on our first activity, I hope you have already recalled some properties of parallelogram and rectangle. To be able to familiarize more with their properties, here's a table showing the difference and similarities between the properties of parallelogram and rectangle. Together, let us analyze and study the table shown on your screen. Both parallelogram and rectangles' opposite sides are congruent. Both parallelogram and rectangles' opposite angles are congruent. In a rectangle, all angles are congruent. Both parallelogram and rectangles' consecutive angles are supplementary. In a rectangle, diagonals are congruent. Both parallelogram and rectangles' diagonals bisect each other. Now that we have already recalled the properties of parallelogram and rectangle, let us proceed to our first sample. In the given figure, quadrilateral hero is a parallelogram. Given segment HE is equals to 2x and segment OR is equals to x plus 5, find the measure of segment HE. Since segment HE and segment OR are opposite sides, therefore, they are congruent. Based on the given statement, we can say that HE is equals to OR. To solve the given problem, substitute the value of the side HE and OR to the equation HE is equals to OR. Substituting, we have 2x is equals to x plus 5. Then, let us try to solve for the value of x. Using APE, addition properties of equality, we add negative x on both sides of the equation. Thus, we have 2x minus x is equals to 5. Simplifying the equation, we have x is equals to 5. After solving for the value of x, which is 5, let us substitute the value of x to the equation of segment HE is equals to 2x. Therefore, HE is equals to 2 times 5. Simplifying the equation, we have segment HE is equals to 10. Now, let's proceed to another example. Using the same figure, parallelogram HERO, if the measure of angle H is equals to 2x minus 15 degrees, and the measure of angle E is equals to x plus 45 degrees, find the measure of angle H and angle E. To solve for the measure of angle H and angle E, we must remember that angle H and angle E are consecutive angles, and in a parallelogram, consecutive angles are supplementary. Based on the given statement, measure of angle H plus measure of angle E is equals to 180 degrees. To solve the given problem, we substitute the value of measure of angle H and measure of angle E to the equation angle H plus angle E is equals to 180 degrees. Thus, we have 2x minus 15 plus x plus 45 is equals to 180. Simplifying the equation, we have 3x plus 30 is equals to 180. Using addition property of equality, APE, we add negative 30 to both sides of the equation. Solving, we have 3x is equals to 150. Okay, dividing both sides by 3, which is the numerical coefficient of x, we have x is equals to 50. Okay. To solve for the measure of angle H, we substitute the value of x to the equation h is equals to 2x minus 15. Thus, we have angle H is equals to 2 times 50 minus 15. Simplifying, we have 100 minus 15. Thus, the measure of angle H is equals to 85 degrees. Now, let's get the measure of angle E. To solve the given problem, we substitute the value of x to the equation angle E is equals to x plus 45. Thus, we have angle E is equals to 50 plus 45. Simplifying the equation, we have measure angle E is equals to 95 degrees. Now that we are already finished on getting the value or the exact measure of angle H and angle E, let's proceed to example number 3. For our third example, quadrilateral LOBE is a rectangle. Given side EL is equals to 2x minus 1 centimeter and side OB is equals to x plus 7 centimeter, find the value of x and the measure of side EL. To solve for the value of x, remember that opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent. Thus, EL is equals to OB. Substituting the value of side EL and the value of side OB, we have 2x minus 1 is equals to x plus 7. To simplify the equation, we use addition property of equality, adding negative x and 1 to both sides of the equation. Thus, we have x is equals to 8. Now, let's find the measure of side EL. To find the measure of side EL, we substitute the value of x, which is 8, to the equation EL. Is equals to 2x minus 1. Thus, we have 2 times 8 minus 1. Simplifying the equation, we have 16 minus 1. Thus, the measure of side EL is equals to 15 centimeter. Now, for our last example, we use the same figure, rectangle LOBE, given segment LS is equals to 6x minus 10 and SB is equals to x plus 15. Find the measure of diagonal LB. To be able to solve for the measure of diagonal LB, let us remember that diagonals bisect each other. Thus, segment LS and segment SB are congruent. Based on the given statement, we have LS is equals to SB. Substituting the value of segment LS, which is 6x minus 10, and segment SB, which is x plus 15, to have the equation 6x minus 10 is equals to x plus 15. Using addition property of equality, we add negative x and 10 to both sides of the equation. Thus, we have 6x minus x is equals to 15 plus 10. Simplifying the equation, we have 5x is equals to 25. Dividing both sides of the equation to 5, which is the numerical coefficient of x, we have x is equals to 5. Now, we have already acquired the value of x, which is 5. To solve for the measure of diagonal LB, we use the equation LB is equals to LS plus SB. Substituting the value of LS and SB to the equation, we have LB is equals to 6x minus 10 plus x plus 15. After substituting the value of LS and LV to the equation, we next substitute the value of x to the equation. Thus, we have 6 times 5 minus 10 plus 5 plus 15. Thus, simplifying, we have 30 minus 10 plus 5 plus 15. Solving further, we have LB, or diagonal LB, is equals to 40. So, those are the examples on how to solve problems involving parallelogram and rectangle. To sum up the lesson, remember that to solve problems involving parallelogram and rectangle, use its properties to find the measure of angles, sides, diagonals, and other quantities. So that ends our lesson in using properties of parallelogram and rectangle to find measure of angles, sides, and other quantities. I hope that you enjoy and understand the lesson that we have discussed clearly. If not, you may go back to the lesson presented. If the lesson is clear to you, congratulations! You may now proceed in answering the exercises given to you in your module. Again, this is Mr. Evangelista saying good luck, God bless, and enjoy learning.